Whenever someone wants to say that argument that, oh, he doesn't have weapons, first of all, I'm not knocking Mahomes here and saying he's a bad player, but this is the model that the Chiefs chose to build. And I know a lot of it was predicated on Rashee Rice being a key player for them, so it hurts that they don't have him. But they said, and it's working for them because they're leading the AFC, we want to be a team where we have Mahomes, we trust him to run this offense, so we're not going to really invest in getting him weapons. We drafted Rashee Rice to be on a rookie-scale contract. They give him Worthy, too, to be another rookie-scale weapon. But that's the model, and I actually like the model that they went with. The thing with that is, if you want to do the cheap receiver model, you have to A, hit on them, and B, obviously they have to be healthy. I think they may have gone a little bit extreme because without Rashee Rice, they kind of are lacking, but it's still working for them. They invested heavily in defense, and they want to be a team that we have a dominant defense, we have solid line, and then Mahomes, we trust him to get it done with these weapons. The thing is, people need to kind of shift their perspective. When you have that model, Mahomes isn't supposed to be a quarterback that's going and winning them games by throwing for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. When you build a team like that, you're trying to play complementary football on offense. And we're seeing how effective it is because the Chiefs are built like that, the Steelers are built like that, and they are tops of their division despite not having prolific offenses. The Bills, in a way, are kind of like that too because now that Stephon Diggs is gone, yes, they traded for Amari Cooper because they were able to get him on the cheap, but they had a cheap receiving core around Josh Allen, and they kind of had him playing more complementary football as well, where get the run game going, get Keon Coleman's your rookie scale player, you've got Shakir's cheap. Obviously, they realized they needed help, so they were able to get a cheap deal for Amari Cooper, which helped them. And then they say, hey, we trust our defense. That's the model that we've talked about a lot that works. And obviously, the Bills' defense has struggled the past couple weeks, allowing 40-plus points in back-to-back weeks. Bills' offense has obviously been exploding as well. Bills struggled this past week, too, against the Patriots. It's just kind of like a bit of an ugly game for them, but Josh Allen, he's the MVP. He's been the best quarterback this year. The point really still stands. The model that this team is built on is they've got cheaper weapons around Josh Allen. But they bring in Amari Cooper. He helps them out, and he helps the rest of the offense have to be respected more. But they were able to get him on a cheap deal while they have a rookie-scale contract receiver in Keon Coleman. Khalil Shakir's on a cheap contract, like we said. And then they invest in their offensive line to have one of the best offensive lines in the league that can bully other teams. And then their defense, even though they've struggled the past couple weeks, when they're healthy, this is a defense that they trust, that can win them games, that can go make plays and go stop teams. So if Josh Allen is stifled a little bit, or if they just are in a shootout, they trust that when their defense is healthy, they can get the stops they need. And that's really the whole model that they went for. So obviously, when you have Josh Allen, you're going to have weeks like the past couple where if he needs to, he can put the team on his back. But they don't want him having to put the team on his back all the time because you want to be a team that wins. You can't just rely on that, as if anything goes wrong, like you see with the Bengals, if anything goes wrong for that offense, their defense isn't going to be able to carry them, so they're going to lose the game despite their offense performing incredibly, and that's not what the Bills are because they invested in pieces around them, just like the Chiefs have invested in pieces around them, and this is really the trend that you're seeing with a lot of teams. It's not just the Bills and Chiefs. Like, you look around the league, you got the Steelers, like we mentioned, how their roster's constructed, where their salary's invested, and they're really a more extreme example of that because Russell Wilson's getting paid almost nothing as their starting quarterback, and they're able to invest a lot in the rest of the team, and they mainly focus it on defense, offensive line. Look at the Ravens as well. Obviously, they have a really great offense with Lamar, but if you look at where the money is going in their salary cap, it's going mostly towards their defense and then their offensive line. Also got Mark Andrews, and of course they've got Lamar, but really the model with all these teams is you have your star quarterback, but you build the rest of the team to be more complementary and more focused on having a really great defense so you can have your guy just be kind of a game manager and obviously have the talent to go put the team on his back like Josh Allen does, like Lamar does, like Mahomes sometimes does, and to a lesser extent Russell Wilson. But the way the rest of the team's built around, if you go through their salary cap, you'll see their top cap hits will be defensive players, will be O-linemen, will be all those complementary pieces instead of just shelling out all the money on offense like a team like the Bengals. And it's been a very successful model, and that's really where it boils down to with Mahomes. It's not that he's a bad quarterback. He's not. He's just being asked to be more of a game manager, and that's more of the model that they want to have going forward, and it's been really great for them so far, so we'll see how that continues.